Allow me to preface this video by saying I think everything should be closed right now. I think the entire country should be put on a real quarantine, a real lockdown like every other country did, because every other country has pretty much defeated COVID, except America right now is the lead in this pandemic. I live in Florida, and Florida is currently the epicenter of the entire world of coronavirus. I think we should all be on a massive lockdown and shutdown. We should be staying in our homes. Other countries paid their citizens to stay inside. America is struggling to get a second stimulus check of $1,200, while Canada is giving their citizens $2,000 a month. Listen. Sadly, that's not the reality. Sadly, everything is open. People are running rampant on the streets, going out and hanging out and eating at restaurants, doing everything. So I'm going to talk about the hypocrisy of not opening the movie theaters, because in my mind, the movie theaters is one of the safer spaces to open, and yet that is really the only big thing, at least that I could think of, that is not yet opened up. When restaurants are open. Restaurants. The other day I went to a restaurant and it was like 200 people packed in there like sardines. Just like everyone was on top of each other. There was no social distancing, very few masks, no tables where you're supposed to do like a table where you can sit at, a table that's like blocked off, a table where you can sit at, so there's social distancing. This is being allowed to happen and nothing is happening about it. So when you have that being allowed to happen, how could you not have a movie theater where it's everyone sit? Because think about a restaurant, think about it. People are talking, people are eating, there's germs going all around. There's no mask being worn when you're eating, you're talking. There's all these particles all flying. It's a cesspool, it's disgusting. A movie theater, you're sitting in a chair, facing forward, watching a screen. Maybe taking a sip of soda, maybe snacking on some popcorn. But there's no crossover, there's no people facing each other, there's no nothing. You're all facing one way, facing a screen. Now, how can you not do a movie theater where you block off some seats, socially distance, limit capacity of the theater? Okay, so before all this stuff started, let's say there were 3 movies opening up in theaters every week. Let's say that's 12 new movies a month. So you would have to have many screens being taken up. Each movie might get 2 to 3 screens depending on how big the movie is, or maybe it'll just get 1 screen. So if someone wants to see this smaller indie movie, everyone who wants to see that movie is going to be packed into that 1 screen. Now there's very, very, very few movies opening up. Tenet is like the big one. Everyone's talking about when's this one movie going to be released. Let's say Tenet opens up. The movie theater has 12 screens. Let's just say a movie theater, it's one that has 12 screens. It's like the standard size. They could be playing Tenet on 10 of those screens. Let's say 10 screens are playing Tenet, and you limit every screen to 50% capacity. And you socially distance, you make all the seats reserved, so you make sure, and you have someone watching, making sure that everyone who goes in there is wearing their mask, they're socially distanced, and then when the movie starts, you can take off your mask, snack on popcorn, and drink drinks. And you're just facing one way, not talking, and you're watching the movie. How is that more dangerous than a restaurant? That is my problem with the hypocrisy of not opening movie theaters right now, is that there's so much else open in the world. They had theme parks open. They had theme parks where you're waiting in lines, and they have restaurants open. They have stores open. They have shops open. But something where you're meant to sit in a chair and stare at a screen for 2 hours isn't going to be allowed to be open when you have the rest of the world open. The movie theater industry is dying, and I think they should be allowed to be open if the rest of the world is going to be open. Again, I will reiterate that I don't think anything should be open. But if you're going to open the rest of the country, how can you not open movie theaters when almost everything else is more dangerous?